Hello everybody and welcome back to Oakbridge Farm. So, whilst it's raining, we do need to harvest the canola field, but with this rain we might as well leave it to dry out a bit, and then we will look at hopefully getting that done today. We also have, well, that's our only field that's ready, but then in the next month we should have 14, and then 5, 10 and 13 will be slightly later on in the year. But if we get out of, there we go, get out of here, we want to go find our skid steer. So we're going to load this bit of wool up. We're going to take this to, they are so sensitive. Oh, I'm going backwards now. We're going to load this up with this tiny bit of wool. We're going to take this to the spinnery, and then we are going to go to the sawmill. For when we did those deadwood contracts, we have some planks there. So we're going to go gather them planks up, we can sell them, and by that time it should be, well, the sun should be out, and then we can get on and harvest. So let's just put these, I'm going to have to really get used to this skid steer. I love the skid steer, but it's the fact that you're turning, when you turn the steering wheel, it turns itself. So that'll be something just to have to get used to. Right, let's park this under the store. Well, under the shed I should say. So that can stay there. Let's get out. We better close these gates so our sheep don't get out, and our goats, because it's now one sort of walk through. And I will see you at the spinnery. I do have a feeling we may be in this month, definitely for this episode, and we may even have to go into another, because I'd like to get on and get a lot of the vineyard work, because we've mulched that, but it still needs cultivating and needs its first line of fertiliser, well, first application of fertiliser. But if we go over here, I have taken the liberty off camera to bring the John Deere back, which had the slurry tank on. So I have just emptied that slurry tank there into the BGA, and we also brought the little stacker truck, the Palafinger I think it's called. We also brought that back at the same time, so we now have everything back where we need it. Until now, where we now need to get ourselves up to the sawmill to load these planks on, and then find where the best place to sell these are. I do love those sheep now, being back in that paddock again. I think that's just about perfect, is that? So we don't have, actually we've got more planks than what I thought. I was about to just say we don't have loads of planks, but that's definitely more than enough for us. So we'll drop that there. Let's get our little stacker off. And I haven't looked at the price of wood chips. January. So if we leave the wood chips here, and we can load everything else up.
姐姐，我想跟你谈一场恋爱，无论结局会怎样，我就要现在。你不用担心在一起我会变坏，认识那么多年了，也不用太久爱。第一次见你，我就动了心，你也感到我有点不对劲，心脏砰砰跳，还没准备好。 控制不了自己向你靠近，我不管拉着你的手，跟你散步在海边，那些追求你的人，全都给我靠一遍，365天，全都会在你身边。我们的感情就要放开最新的一遍，再稍微靠近一点，为什么总是犹豫不决？再稍微靠近一点。
I forget what the time-saving stock check said, but it should be roughly about 50,000 here, which will then take us back up to the 100 grand mark. So let's just get to here. Straps off. 51,176. So that's not bad considering we got paid for the dead wood. The wood was obviously free, and then we've now managed to turn it into planks and make make 51,000 out of it. So we will now get back to the yard, and let's just have a quick look, because if we can get away with moving the canola field, because we have, what's that? Is that wheat we've got in field 14? So field 14 we've got wheat in there, but that's not ready until the next month. But if we look on here, canola we can harvest next month as well. So does it make better financial sense to wait a month, rent the combine harvester next month, and then we can do 2 fields in one go, instead of renting it today and then paying the daily fee for another month? Because with the sunflowers, we will also, well, it's not just paying for the harvester, it's obviously the header as well would have to pay another monthly fee, and then it's October that the sunflowers will be ready. So we need to also look and work out to see whether it would be cheaper for us to hang on to the combine and just pay the monthly fees until we're done, or whether it would be best to return it and then release it again. I have got bales out in preparation to put into our mixer, which we also need to think, and I think I've said it many a time, we also need to think about getting some mineral feed bought to put into there. Because this is a dolly, I do leave this out. It is not the easiest of things to reverse. I think I could do it if you gave me enough shunts, as it were, to get it in, but we'll leave that just there for now. And let's jump into the telehandler. And whilst we're here, I will also, if we go to small tractors, so we've got the Fenton lease to combinations. We have, which mower did I buy? I bought a mower, didn't I? Must have been that one. Yes, I bought that. So now let's look at cultivators. So 65, 2 meters, 1.5. So if we go for this one, we can buy that because it's only 12.5. That takes us back under the 100,000. So we'll buy that, and then I also want to have a go with this, but I think I'm going to lease it first for the vineyard so we can put some muck down on it. I think that would be the better option. But so we'll just got to be careful not to push these back into the trigger so then they restart them. We need to get some more grass as well, because I think we've only got 6 bales of grass left, and now we've got the sheep and goats over in their new pastures. We'll just have to be canny that we make sure that we don't run out over there. So it may be worth, where the sheep originally were, we now have that obviously to cut for grass, but it may be worth looking at acquiring a smaller grass field. But there is a fair amount that I would like to try and get done in time, because I would like to do poplar, which I know it's a big, well, one, I know it's a big money earner, and two, it's something that I have never done before in game. So that's something that I'd quite like to try do, but we need to get an adequate field for it, which I think the best field for it would be the field just outside where our grain store is. You know, it's a nice site. I'm not going to go, ooh, hello. I'm not going to go silly with poplar, you know, and try and plant every last bit of ground with it. You know, I'll do it as the game I think intended it to be, but it'd be quite nice. And I don't know whether we'll bio-bale or whether we will look at a forage harvester. But obviously we're doing forage harvesting with the maize, which we can do that before it's ready. So before its final growth stage, I think we can get in and get that cut, which I just hope it is not hugely labour intensive, because I think we'll have to do it with the worker on the harvester. And then myself, I think my main job will be having to lead backwards and forwards to the bunker. Oh, what's happening here? Is there too much straw in there? Mixing straw. No, that should be... That should be mixing. Can I just squeeze these on top? Or is it because we're now full? Could that be it? No? Okay, I've just given it a nudge and it's... Brilliant. So I just gave it a nudge then, and then it processed those other bales. So let's get this in here. We just make sure we don't. What's that one? That one. That one. And I'm hoping we'll get this last bale in. And then once this is done, we'll go pick up our new cultivator, and we can get the vineyard cultivated. And then have a look and see what else there is. Well, what else there is for us to do. Especially if we're not harvesting this month, it'll be a good time to prepare and try and get everything ready for the carnage that's to come. Right, that into there. Please take it all. No. Okay, so that is full of straw. We've got a load of hay in there. It needs silage and it needs mineral feed, but silage we can obviously do. I'll just leave the forks over here, or the bale spikes. Silage we can obviously do with the bucket. We do have two bales. Can we see them from over here? No, they're on top of the caravan. We do have those two bales to pick up and sort out at some point. But whilst we're just doing this, let's have a look at our animals. So goats are fine. Sheep are fine. Chickens need food, as do our cows. Let's turn that off. Here, let's flick through. We will drop... Well, we'll drop this. It's... I think it's a mulcher, but obviously it's a flail mower. We'll drop that off, and we'll go get our cultivator. Considering we've got front links on here, we might as well put this onto the front and lease that manure spreader. Let's just hope it doesn't pull the front end. Makes it slightly lighter on the front end, but that's alright. So we'll go on to here. Small tractors. I think this is the easiest way to do it. We might as well go on the Landini combinations. Muck spreader, lease, and we can take this to the farm and we can load it up with our telehandler. Well, let's just reverse. If we go sideways like that, there should be plenty of room. There should be plenty of manure. So 25,000 litres. Which I think that muck spreader, it should only be 2 bucket loads. So we've just turned that off. We'll turn it back on again. And then we'll have to remember, now we've got the pressure washer here, we'll have to remember to wash the bucket out after we've done this, before we start transferring silage. I know it makes no difference in game, but it would be nice to try and keep some things as realistic as possible. I know I do take some liberties with other things, but they're more quality of life. Oh, that's not good. Only 3%. Oh no. This has gone absolute carnage. I hope that's going into the spreader. Oh dear. Right, let's get another bucket load, and this time we'll try and make sure we get it all in. I hope it's not just a 5,000 litre spreader. I'm sure it was more than that, but considering we didn't get it all in then, and that looks fairly full, it's a bit daunting. Right, let's look at the front here. It is a very big bucket. See, we're just filling the outsides there. Right, let's jump out. Let's pull. Will it be able to pull it out over that mound? Oh, it's only 4,900 litres. Oh, we may have to have a look at ModHub, see if there's a much bigger one for us. Oh, don't be tipping that out. let's tidy up as much of this as possible. And let's just, well, we might as well leave that in the bucket, because I would imagine we will be coming back. But right, let's get to the field and let's get spreading some poop. And we're almost done. That's a very slow job going at 5 miles an hour, but I will be honest, I do have installed, and I don't know whether it's just a PC mod, because it's I would imagine it would be a scripted mod, but I do have installed, I forget what it's called, but what it does is it changes the value of your slurry and manure. So it's, I think it roughly equates to, it's the same price as using solid fertiliser. So instead of having to come backwards and forwards loading up all the time, we can do it. Well, we've done that with 2 loads, which I have only well, put it on this series just to help with time to keep things sort of pushing on. Obviously, being my first ever YouTube series as well, I want to make sure that we keep going until I sort of learn and understand things a bit better. I will, however, on my Star Always series, I won't be using it on that. That will be purely what the base game has intended. I have worked out, I was originally going up and down every row, but by looking at that, from about here onwards, I did every other. And that seems to have got the rows perfectly. So I wasted a lot of time on these first ones doing that. Right. If we go to here, vehicles, lease, so that we can return that. It's a shame we've lost a bit of our manure. We can not return the fence because 0.7 hours, so hopefully we can, I imagine it'll be next month when we may get into there to cultivate, but I thought to put the manure down first, and then you can just, is that it there? Anyways, I thought put the manure down first, so when we do cultivate, we're turning it into the soil. Right, we need 2. If we get to here, I did say we were going to wash this bucket out quickly because it's obviously just been doing helping out with muck spreading, and we can load our mixer up. We can load that up with silage, which it will be 5,000. Christ, it may be 20 loads that we put into there. We reach here, yeah, only just. And then we want to get some mineral feed the chickens, feed the cows, and then I don't think we'll be too far. I don't think we'll be too far off there. I just need to make sure I keep a track of the time. I don't think I'll time lapse doing this because we all know what it entails. It's just a constant backward. Ooh, what have I hit there? We all know it's just a constant backwards and forwards of going from here to here. I do wish I just had a little bit more room than what we do have. So it's just doing that constantly for however long it takes. And this should be the final bucket. So I don't think we'll use all of this bucket, but I think it's number 20 going in. So it is it's a fair long job when you let it run out. So it may be something where every episode just keep throwing a bucket or 2 in to keep it going. But I know there's 20,000 litres left of... Oh, I did take it all. Is that... Okay, it's because it's processing, and now there's only nearly 8,000, well, 8,500 litres left of space. So we need mineral feed, and I don't think we've got a pallet fork for this. So let's leave this here. Let's get into, we can turn it off for now. Let's get into the menu. So telehandler tools. Have we got? No, we don't. So we'll buy some forks. Buy. And then we will, where would it be under the feeding options? Let's go animal food category. We want, where is mineral feed? See, at 500 litres, well obviously that's a mod, but 500 litres, 1,002. Why is that so expensive, that mod? And you get half as much. Anyways, let's go for here. We'll get 8 by, and then we will just get 2, because we've got 10. And the case, where is that? Because that should still have, we'll go through, yeah, still got this trailer on, so we can put the pallet forks on, we can load this up with mineral feed, take it over there, and then the telehandler can unload it all. It's been a long time since we last used the the shop's forklift. They'll be thinking what's happened to us. And we can also take that seed back, which I don't think there's a lot of seed in there. Is it going to tell us? 100 litres of seed in there. So we can take that back and then get, can we, how many of these can we, we're driving very slowly there. Come on, pick up some speed, please. Yeah, and then hopefully we'll get the pallet forks on as well with this. I think you've got to sort of nip. Ooh, let's just zoom in a bit there. Okay, we're very high there. Still very high. So let's lift these two up. Put these two on top of here. Drop them, please. I'm not doing very well at all with these. I've been struggling with forklifts today. I think it's when you struggle to see the times that oh hello. Drop them, please. Now we'll get these. Will it pick 6 up in one go? Okay, that's very light. Very light on the back end. So let's get through this little gap without making too. Okay, we made a bit of a mess, but I think we'll quickly get these loaded up, and then we will get, because we should have some barley in our feed silo at the livestock farm. So then we can do the chickens. We can do a part load to the cows, and then I think we shouldn't be too far off calling it a day at that. Come on, drop them please. Ties forward. Brilliant. Okay, not so brilliant. buffalo fed, that is the chickens fed. We have finished off what we had left to put into our mixer, and then with an added bonus of silage to the BGA. So if we go here, manure, we want to go click it first, deactivate. Silage we will activate, so that will keep some money coming in. Animals, let's look at these now. So the cows, the water buffalo, they're almost now full of food, and they've got a fair bit of slurry left for us. The sheep pasture, this is the goat pasture. Goats full of food, absolutely fine, and the sheep full of food, absolutely fine, and the chickens full of food, absolutely fine. So there is not much more to say than thank you very much for watching. I hope you have all liked and enjoyed the video, and I will see you again in the next one. Bye for now.